So yes, I know, another video that I'm making about the Batman, and I know there's been a lot of videos, but I promise this should be the last one, at least for a little bit. Maybe. But a massive question that I wanted to get my thoughts on is, will the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman, be rated R? Now, this is a question that I was not originally going to make a video on, because I'm like, of course this film is not going to be rated R, but watching the trailer a couple more times, watching videos, and watching more people's opinions, I'm like, there's a discussion to be had. Before I give you guys my thoughts, do you think the Batman would be rated R? Do you want it to be rated R? Or let us know my thoughts down below. So let's get into it. So Matt Reeves' The Batman trailer dropped in DC fandom, and ever since that trailer dropped, people have been wondering, will this film be rated R? Now I'm going to give you guys my quick take, and then I'm going to give you guys think why I think this film could be R, why I think this film could be R. Do I want this film to be R rated? If it needs to be. If this film needs to be R-rated. If this film doesn't need to be R-rated, if it's just being R-rated for the sake of being R-rated, then no. I don't want this film to be R-rated. If the story needs this film to be R-rated with the characters, action sequences, and plot, absolutely. Make the film R-rated if you need to. But if it's just going to make the film R-rated to get fans more happy that we got an R-rated Batman film, then no, I don't want to see this film be R-rated. And another reason why I don't think this film will be R-rated is basically the displeasing box office numbers for Birds of Prey, a film I really enjoyed, but it didn't really make the money that Warner Bros. Was going on with wanting. So if the Batman, their biggest property and their biggest character in terms of film-wise, if this film bombs, they'll be crushed. I think, can you make a dark PG-13 film? Yes, The Dark Knight showed that film is PG-13, but there's dark elements, there's mature, a lot of mature and darker themes. You can make a dark, kind of rated R film with the PG-13 version. And if there's a cut of this film that's R-rated, release the R-rated cut when it comes to Blu-ray and 4K. So you can make money in the cinema with the PG-13 film, a dark PG-13 film, mind you. But if there was an R-rated cut, release the R-rated cut for Blu-ray and 4K. Now, if I don't want this film to be a light PG-13, how much I love the MCU style would not fit Batman. I want this to be the darkest PG-13 it can be. If they're not making this R, I want this to be the darkest PG-13 where they push the PG-13 rating to its limits. I think that's kind of the best way to make this film and make this film interesting, make this film unique in a certain way, and overall just make it extremely fun and enjoyable. That has, will this film be rated R? Maybe. The trailer does look like they're showing some more darker elements, of course Batman beating the crap out of the guy. But in terms of the story, it looks very dark tonally. This looks like maybe the darkest Batman film we're ever going to get. So this film could easily be a dark movie from beginning to end. Easily could be. But if the film's just going to be R-rated, let's add more blood sequence, cursing, nudity. Let's just make this as R as being good because we want this film to be R. Again, if it needs to be R. Here's an interesting example. Kingsman: The Secret Service is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's super fun, interesting, and really enjoyable. But it's R-rated. Is it R-rated because Matthew Vaughn forced the R rating? No. He made the film, he wrote the film, and it happens to be R-rated. The sequel was again R-rated, but sometimes I feel like it was forced to be R-rated. Yes, there's cursing and violence and some not so interesting, but the film feels like it's trying to outdo the first one. You thought this was crazy, let's do this, and it just doesn't work. So if this film needs to be R-rated for the story, make it R-rated. But if it just wants to be R-rated just for the sake of being R-rated, I'm not really a fan of that. Okay, now finally, will this film be R-rated? It's a possibility. If it's PG-13, go the darkest PG-13. If it's R-rated, I'll see what happens. Will this film be R-rated? Maybe. I'm not saying it will be. I'm not saying it could be. I'm just saying it might. So those are my thoughts on the Batman maybe being R-rated. What do you think? Let us know my thoughts down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, hit the like button and subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you guys never miss when I upload another video. You can check out my podcast I do every other Tuesday with a friend of mine. It's called the Movie View Podcast. And you guys can check out my Instagram at GeneralScoDaniel77. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.